Alright, YouTube. So well, as you can see, there's a propeller on that plane. That was the first of what I had to do. And then this one doesn't have a propeller on it. I have the propeller. Spinner's broken. I'm going to use some nuts on there, on the motor shaft. And that should work. I mean, right now, if I have it on there, it rubs on that foam. So I'm going to need to put some nuts there for a spacer. I'll probably use a washer too, just as some added support. The other thing, here's my P-47. This is what I'm most excited about. I did have some cracks on this spinner, so I don't know how that's going to hold up. Gosh, that will not focus on there either. Come on, focus. Well, crap. Alright, well, it's not going to focus. I can try zooming in very slowly. I don't think you're going to be able to see that. Oh well. But anyway, just take my word for it. There's some cracks on there. I used some like plastic bonder stuff. Stuff smells horrible, by the way. Don't do it inside like I did. It was not a good idea, and it just stunk up the whole house. It was horrible. Oh, nice. Hit the lens. Dented the foam a little bit. I'm a genius. Alright, the other thing I did... I have a new ESC, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. That's a Detrum 60 amp ESC that I have now, and it's going to do a little bit better of a job for this plane. The other one wasn't getting hot or anything. I don't know that there was a problem with it. Hopefully I didn't just, you know, try to fix a problem that didn't exist and end up causing a problem. It's a ferrite ring, or a ferrite core, whatever you want to call it. Helps with electrical interference. And then yeah, it just hooks into there, and I've got it all soldered up. It doesn't come, see, I got it from Nitroplanes, and it doesn't come with the banana plugs already soldered on it. So what I had to do, so I'll come over here, I set that down somewhere over here. Yeah, here it is. So I just took this old ESC from, well, what was in the plane. That's the 50 amp ESC. As you can tell, it's a little bit sketchy there. There's not much of a heat sink on there. And it just didn't, I mean, it says 50 amp, but it doesn't really look like what I would call a 50 amp ESC. So it's just a little sketchy. So this one, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's a lot bigger, a lot bulkier. There's a nice big heat sink on there. It should stay nice and cool as long as I did my soldering okay. I tested it out. My battery's a little bit run down, so I didn't do a whole lot. I didn't do the full, like, I think you're supposed to go full throttle for like 3 minutes and just see how it works. I didn't do any of that. I went full throttle with it for a while. It wasn't getting hot or anything, but I just didn't want to ruin my LiPo. So I wanted to keep my battery nice and decent. And so as you can tell, that prop is nice on there. Ought to look good in flight. Yeah, there we go. I am ridiculously excited. You don't even understand. I'm just pissed because soldering it took me long enough that I can't fly it today. Although it was a little bit windy today anyway, so don't know if that would have been a good idea. In order to get this ESC, if you're going to do this ESC mod, I guess you'd call it a mod, I don't really know, upgrade, whatever. If you're going to do that, what you're going to need to do is, well, obviously you're going to need to take the propeller and the spinner and all that off, and then this little fake motor looking thing, just pull it off, and then this motor is screwed in there. That's how the motor mount is, obviously. So in order to get to the ESC and disconnect the motor from it, at least in my case, I had to actually take the motor off and unscrew it all. And what I did to keep the screws in order, I just stuck them on the side of the motor because it's magnetic. If you know anything about brushless motors, they're all magnetic. Just along the outside there on that. And so I just stick the screws on the magnets and it sticks right there. It causes a little bit of some frustration sometimes when you're trying to put them back on, but you know what, if it saves me trying to hunt for a screw for half an hour on nice plush carpet, then that's a good thing in my book. What else can I say? Oh yeah, my little P-47, the 750 millimeter one. Yeah, I broke the prop. I hate bleachers. That's all you need to know. I hate bleachers. I came in for a landing, beautiful landing, but just as I touched down, I looked ahead and yelled no, because I saw the bleachers and I could tell it was going right into them. And it hit the bleachers, and yeah, pretty much snapped off one of the propeller blades at the base, like right here. You saw how bad these props were broken if you saw my other video, but they were just nubs. Yeah, that's how that little propeller was. I don't know if it's because the propeller's weak. I don't think I can really blame it on there. I went nose first into a set of bleachers at like 10-15 miles an hour. Well, that may be a little bit over what it really was because I don't know how fast it's actually going when it lands. But either way, it hit pretty hard. And it snapped. Oh, how am I going to do this? Because I only have one hand free when I'm holding the camera. I want to show you guys my landing gear because I beefed those up with some balsa. Alright, so now I am carrying the plane. Just give me a second here, guys. Alright, don't want to hurt my prop any more than I already have. Or the spinner, anyway. I couldn't get the spinner because it was out of stock, but so that's why I just decided to go with this one. Anyway, there's some balsa wood there that was not there to begin with. You have to cut a little bit of foam out. It's not a big deal. It doesn't take forever. I mean, for me, it took me a while because I experimented with different kinds of wood. Just because, I mean, I had no planes working, so I needed something to do. So I just was goofing around with it, and I didn't glue that in or anything. I suppose you probably should, but it seems pretty solid to me. Does the trick. It's not going anywhere. And then this side, yeah, you can see I didn't quite get enough balsa there. I don't think it's going to cause an issue. It might. If it does, well, I guess so be it. Hopefully it doesn't break my propeller. I can always try it again and fix it. It's slanted more than it used to be. I'm just looking at my motor. I mean, it looks to be a little bit off to me, but I don't know that it really is. I think that, I mean, I know that's there a little bit to compensate for torque, but that looks a little bit farther off to me. I don't know. It was tracking straight on the floor in here. So we'll see. Yeah, so that's my landing gear. If I had a battery, I would show you guys that it still works, but you can tell there's the landing gear, there's a gap there. It's not going to hit anything because it's just lined up with where the foam already was. I mean, it's not going to hit. And they work just fine. They go up and down just perfect and strengthens it up a whole lot. So I would really suggest doing that. If you're going to land on grass, you almost have to do that. Well, not almost. You would have to do that. If you land on pavement and you're really good at landings, you'd probably be alright. But it's nice to have some added security. And in flight, are you going to see that? Because I'm not. Of course, I'm going to be the one flying the plane, so I'm not going to see much other than what I'm actually doing. But yeah, I've been talking too much already. It's a pretty short video, not a lot to say, and I've turned it into like, I don't know, maybe 7 minutes now. So hey, see how close I am in the video on this. When I said 7 minutes, is it 7 minutes? I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I hope it is, because that'd be pretty cool. That's about it. Thanks for watching, YouTube.